Kyle Krisiloff is one of the more forgotten busts in NASCAR history. He was just another one of those failed Hendrick prospects from the early 2000s that tried to stick around but failed to do so. A promising start was soon followed by an epic fall that saw him out of NASCAR by the age of 22. I know some fans look at him as just another failed rich kid prospect, and maybe he is, but we have to look back at the beginning of his career. First things first, you need to know that Kyle comes from racing royalty. He is the son of former champ car racer Steve Krisiloff and the nephew of Tony George. Tony is the chairman and former president and CEO of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Kyle might have came from money, but he was looking like a sure talent early on. He raced quarter midgets from 1995 to 1999, winning over 320 features and 9 Grand National Championships. He continued his open wheel career in the early 2000s, competing in series such as Superkarts USA and the Toyota Atlantic Series. He found some brief success there as he finished 10th in the standings and also became the youngest driver to podium in that series. By the time 2004 came, Krisiloff had signed a driver development contract with Hendrick Motorsports. The agreement was for him to make 3 starts in ARCA and 10 starts in ASA. He was a decent ARCA driver that was showing promise early on. In his first 2 starts, he finished 9th and 2nd at both Lake Erie and Nashville. In his 3rd start, it all finally came together for him as he would score his first win in the ARCA series.
We're on the white flag lap. If he gets a good run through 1 and 2, it can close up. Traffic could come into play down the back straightaway. But I'll tell you what, if TJ Bell gets through 3 and 4 like he did last time, he could win this thing.
He needs a good run down the back straightaway here. As you can see, he lost a little bit of ground, but he has to be careful. Don't overdrive that corner and wreck the race car.
I think he did in turn 2, and that's going to be the difference. He overdrove it, and Kyle Krisiloff is going to get the win. Kyle Krisiloff wins in Chicagoland at the ARCA Remax 200.
Krisiloff demonstrated enough promise in these starts to warrant more seat time. In 2005, the plan was to move him up to the NASCAR Busch Series while continuing to make a few starts in ARCA. Unfortunately, in this season, he went from a promising young driver to a complete wrecking ball.
Second caution of the night coming out, Kyle Krisiloff having problems with his transmission, and so he was not able to continue on as they push him into the garage area.
He's one of the Hendrick development drivers. He ran some ARCA races, won an ARCA race last year at Chicagoland Speedway. Hendrick Motorsports very, very high on Kyle Krisiloff.
And unfortunately, it's Kyle Krisiloff who is running in 4th in his number 7. But trouble for that black Ditech entry. Let's show you what happened to Kyle to knock him out of the running. Hard to tell, Kenny.
Ralph, I mean, I don't know if it's the glare of the track, but, you know, it almost looks like there's maybe fluid down here. Right now, he's sliding as he gets into safer barrier. I want to congratulate this racetrack. They got safer barriers up. Not even painted yet, but by God, they're up.
Well, the 19-year-old has been getting his lessons today, Bill. He has been on the radio pretty constantly talking about the handling of his car, getting encouragement from the crew chief, getting lessons from the crew chief. When the crew chief saw our TV pictures of the right side of the car, that being Jim Long, he said, "Do you need a bite of wedge in that?" Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe put a few in there. This is Michael Waltrip.
Last lap was a 73. A pretty bold plan here. If we catch a caution, we're going to drop.
Well, that's the right side of damage, but that's not the hood damage.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out when the hood damage started.
That was earlier in the day.
Was that maybe when the 4 car got in the grass earlier on that restart?
Yeah. Billy Venturini, a young man himself, but with a little bit more veteran experience than these two. Oh, more contact. Krisiloff's in the wall.
Wow, that was short term coming. These guys have been going back and forth. Unfortunate. This is not what you wanted to see this late in the race.
Oh, hang on, Kyle. Keep it from going back up the track. And tough. He does. The yellow comes out.
His 2005 ARCA stats are this: 0 wins, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and an average finish of 18.5, and had 7 DNFs. His 2005 Busch Series stats are this: 0 wins, 0 top 5s, 0 top 10s, and an average finish of 33.7 and had 2 DNFs. Soon after 2005, Kyle Krisiloff was let go from Hendrick Motorsports. He was able to notch a deal for the 2006 season driving the 15 truck for Billy Ballew Motorsports. After the first 12 races of 2006, he was let go. In those 12 starts, he scored 0 top 10s with an average finish of 23.8. Despite his shortcomings, he was somehow able to land a deal with the late Carl Haas in 2007 to drive full-time in the Nationwide Series. Money might have gotten him that ride, but it certainly didn't buy performance.
Oh my goodness, we got some damage here with a 14 car.
Well, that's not baking powder we see puffing out of the back of that car. He's got heavy damage, and Kyle Krisiloff was supposedly going to be the lucky dog award winner during this caution flag.
He's a lucky dog. He looked like he's flying. Oh, he's flying back up to the front, and that is something you really got to be careful with. The 33 car, Tony Raines, is warming his tires up, and the spotter always needs to tell the guys, here comes the car a lap down to get it back. As a driver, I always wondered if I was going to run into somebody on the outside trying to get that lap back.
And record for 3 and 4. Car on the bottom, cars up high, back it down, cars up high, cars up high. Caution is out, so come on around here.
That was the 14 car of Kyle Krisiloff that spun around. And a couple of cars having to jump on the binder. Looking back at turn 4. There he goes around. Steven tries to go to the high side to get by him, and up comes Krisiloff.
Yeah, it's just a bad luck right there. He just almost made it.
That's J.J. Yeley in the 1.
Yeah, perfect example. Early in the race, you still don't have a lot of heat in the tires right now. The air pressures are still pretty low. You try to get back in the gas, and one of two things is going to happen a lot of times. If your car's on the loose side, you're going to chase the back end up into that car. It looked like his car pushed up a little bit. He tried to stay off of J.J. Yeley.
Inside, you okay?
Well, that's some hard impact we see there on the 14 car.
All right, bud.
Got significant damage. He's still driving the car, though. He's still got somewhat of control, keeping it out of the way.
Yeah, Kyle Krisiloff.
Hold it up there for a second.
Who had that great run at Talladega last month. Getting a top 5 finish, has hit it pretty hard with the right front of his Ford. There, the 99 car was involved. There's the contact there, Krisiloff and Curtis Davis.
I'm not so sure whose fault that was, though. You saw, Krisiloff on the top of the racetrack, and Curtis Davis looks like he got up and just got into the left rear quarter panel of Krisiloff. Just 3 wide. Let's take one more look at this. A little different angle right there.
Already had the contact, and these guys are sliding by, and Rudman just barely gets by, gets a little nick from one of the cars spinning.
Whoa, good job.
Oh, Bliss, big hit.
Oh, and he gets sandwiched on the side there by the 14 car of Kyle Krisiloff, who had nowhere to go. He had traffic above him, and Bliss's car comes down across the race.
Bad damage.
Yeah, that's a hard wreck right there.
Kyle had nowhere to go on that one, and just a victim. And only 3 laps in the race, you're in the wall already, and that's a hard hit, guys. Right rear quarter panel, right front. He's not going to be able to fix that and get that out soon. Let's take a look at this replay, guys, and see what happened.
He's already sideways and just trying to chase the car up and got out and ran out of room, got in the wall.
And again, thank God for that soft wall, guys. That really takes a lot of the impact away from the driver when they can hit that part of the wall.
Oh, big wreck in the back straightaway.
That's the 14 again of Kyle Krisiloff involved, so that's his second deal of the day.
Looks like he bumps in the back of the 28, goes on the inside of it. And the 28 car, Robert Richardson, just comes across and gets him, and boy, look at this crash.
That could have been serious for a lot of guys. That was payback right away.
His 2007 stats are this: 0 wins, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, and an average finish of 27.8, and had 7 DNFs along with an 18th place points finish. Carl Haas's team shut down after the 2007 season, leaving Kyle out of the ride for a brief moment. Even after wrecking all of those race cars, he was somehow able to manage a part-time deal with Chip Ganassi Racing. In his 6 starts, he was only able to manage a 31.2 average finish. After 2008, at just the age of 22, Kyle Krisiloff's NASCAR career was officially over. Today, Kyle has a pretty good gig over at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as he is the Senior Director of Music and Entertainment. Krisiloff was certainly not the most memorable NASCAR bust on this list, but he was certainly one of the richest. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Lives Matter. Catch you next time.